Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up to the warm sunlight of a Spanish village. You are sitting on a rustic veranda, surrounded by the scent of rosemary and blooming bougainvillea. Above you, lush grapevines filter the light, and around you, old stone walls tell stories of the past. It feels expensive, distant, and dreamy, doesn't it? But open your eyes. What if I told you this sanctuary isn't in Spain, and it didn't cost a fortune? Today, I will show you how to take the trash in your garage, empty bottles, broken wood, and cement, and weave them into this exact reality. From romantic window boxes to hidden courtyard secrets. Let's build your sanctuary. Welcome back to Arkan Aesthetic Studio, where we turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. In this episode, we are curating the ultimate list of 21 Spanish rural-inspired DIYs that act as a bridge between nature and your home. If you love these ideas, please subscribe to follow this series. And a special request, share this video on WhatsApp and Facebook to inspire other garden lovers in your circle. For those who share and watch this video until the end, I pray for your long life, endless health, and a home filled with peace. Let's get started with number 1. One window box. Imagine for a moment the frame of your world. In the quiet villages of Spain, a window is never just a hole in the wall. It is a living painting, a bridge between the sanctuary of home and the wild beauty of nature. Picture a humble ledge, crafted not from expensive marble, but from reclaimed wood or perhaps cast from simple cement to mimic the warmth of ancient stone. Here, the vibrant red of geraniums dances with the wind, while the scent of thyme and damp earth drifts into your room, grounding you in the present moment. It doesn't require a grand estate to feel this peace. Just a small box, a handful of soil, and the will to let life spill over the edges. Two, balcony. Now, lift your spirit a little higher, to a place where the air feels lighter and the view stretches farther. The balcony is the eye of the home, a suspended sanctuary where we can watch the world drift by without stepping into its current. Imagine a railing that whispers of old Spanish ironwork, though it may be born from humble scraps and repurposed wood, painted to tell a story of endurance. Here, the bougainvillea spills its magenta secrets over the edge, reaching down to the earth below, while the scent of potted jasmine rises to meet the evening stars. Standing here, you are neither inside nor fully out. You are in a suspended moment of grace. 3. Front terrace. The journey of 1,000 miles ends not at the destination, but at the doorstep. The front terrace is more than just an entrance. It is a handshake, a warm embrace that says, "You have arrived." Envision a space paved with the colors of the earth, perhaps created from broken tiles given a second life as a mosaic of memories. Here, the sturdy presence of olive trees in weathered pots stands guard, symbols of peace and resilience that have watched over generations. The pillars that hold up the roof need not be quarried stone. They can be crafted by your own hands, layered with texture to catch the golden hour sun. Four. Narrow side yard. Often, we overlook the spaces in between, seeing them only as corridors to pass through quickly. But in the hidden alleys of a Spanish village, the narrowest path becomes a secret journey. Imagine transforming that tight, forgotten strip of land into a cooling tunnel of green. Overhead, a simple trellis crafted from fallen branches supports the weight of twisting grapevines, creating a living ceiling that filters the harsh noon sun into dappled coins of gold. The air here is cooler, carrying the scent of damp earth and shade-loving ferns. It is intimate, a place where you can brush your fingertips against the rough stone walls and feel the quiet pulse of the garden. Five. Empty wall. A blank wall is often seen as a barrier, a silence in the conversation of your home. But in the language of a Spanish villa, a wall is a canvas of texture and history. Imagine taking that flat, lifeless surface and giving it the soul of ancient stone. Using simple materials like cement, sculpted by your own hands, you can recreate the rugged warmth of walls that have stood for centuries against the Mediterranean wind. It is not about perfection. It is about character, the bumps, the crevices where a climbing rose might find a foothold. This transformed wall no longer divides, it embraces. It becomes a backdrop that makes every green leaf pop with vibrancy. Six. Room corner and pathways. Life is rarely a straight line. It is a series of turns, corners, and winding paths that lead us to the unexpected. In the rustic gardens of Spain, the ground beneath your feet tells a story as rich as the walls around you. Imagine a pathway born from broken pieces, shards of concrete, old bricks, or fractured tiles, pieced together to form a mosaic of resilience. Laid by hand, these humble fragments become a cobblestone road that forces you to slow down, to watch your step, and to notice the creeping time softening the hard edges. A neglected corner of the house suddenly becomes a destination, a curved embrace that guides you gently around the bend. Seven. Fence. To define a space is to give it meaning. A fence should not merely be a barrier that says keep out, but a warm embrace that holds everything precious within. In the rural hills of Spain, boundaries are marked by thick, sun-baked walls that feel as if they grew from the earth itself. Imagine taking a simple, flimsy barrier and cloaking it in a layer of textured cement, crowning it with the rustic charm of terracotta tiles. Suddenly, you are not just fencing a yard, you are building a fortress of solitude. Against this warm, ochre canvas, the magenta explosion of bougainvillea finds its perfect partner, the colors vibrating with life. Eight. Small garden. There is a myth that to find peace, you need vast acres of land. But the true magic of the Spanish countryside is often found in the smallest pockets of earth, a micro-oasis that defies its size. Imagine a tiny corner of your world, no larger than a room, yet bursting with the concentrated essence of a Mediterranean summer. Here, we do not simply plant, we curate. Using humble vessels, perhaps old tires disguised as terracotta or simple wooden crates, we build layers of life. The silver leaves of a dwarf olive tree catch the light, while the scent of crushed rosemary and lavender rises to greet you, expanding the space through the senses. Nine. Patio. The foundation of a home is not just walls and a roof. It extends to the earth beneath your feet where memories are made. In a tiny yard, a cold, grey slab of concrete can feel like a barren island. But imagine washing that grey away with the warmth of a Spanish sunset. With nothing more than paint and a stencil, or perhaps a mosaic of broken pottery, you can conjure the illusion of ancient terracotta tiles. Suddenly, the ground glows with an ochre warmth that invites you to kick off your shoes. Surrounded by potted lemon trees and the vibrant trumpet blooms of hibiscus, this small patch of ground transforms into an outdoor living room. Ten. Front yard. The front yard is the prologue to your home story, but too often it is written in the boring language of thirsty green grass. In the sun-drenched landscapes of Spain, the earth speaks a different dialect, one of stone, texture, and resilience. Imagine carving a river that never flows, a dry creek that meanders through your yard, guiding the eye like water. Using gathered river rocks, or perhaps recycled rubble tumbled into smooth forms, you create a spine of grey that cools the landscape. Along its banks, plant the sentinels of the Mediterranean, tufts of ornamental grass that sway in the breeze and sturdy agaves that hold the line. (11) Small courtyard. In the heart of every Spanish home lies the courtyard, a patio interior that acts as the lungs of the house, breathing in cool air and exhaling tranquility. The soul of this space is water. Imagine a centerpiece that anchors the world around it, a fountain that whispers the song of a mountain stream. You do not need a stonemason to carve this memory. By stacking humble basins, old tires, or recycled pots, and cloaking them in a rough coat of cement, you create a timeless structure that looks as if it has stood for 100 years. Around this water source, life gathers, washing away the noise of the city. (12) Backyard. The backyard is the village square of your private world. It is where the day's labor dissolves into the laughter of the evening. In the rustic tradition, furniture is not bought. It is built from the bones of the past. Imagine a long table, scarred and beautiful, crafted from reclaimed wood or pallets that have carried heavy loads, now resting to carry the weight of a family feast. Surrounded by benches sculpted from cement to resemble ancient stone, this space invites you to sit, to linger, to break bread. Above, the broad leaves of a fig tree or a canopy of grapevines act as a green ceiling, filtering the light into a soft, golden haze. (13) Exterior stairway area. Stairs are often seen as merely a tool, a way to get from here to there. But in a Spanish villa, the stairway is a crescendo, a rising melody that lifts you from the earth toward the sky. Imagine treating every step not as a chore, but as a canvas. The vertical rises, often ignored, become the perfect place for expression, perhaps adorned with the intricate patterns of photo-lavare tiles created with stencils, or a mosaic of broken ceramics. Flanked by terracotta soldiers, pots of vibrant red geraniums on every tread, the climb becomes a procession of color. Walking up these stairs feels like ascending through a living painting. (14) Borders. In the chaos of nature, beauty often needs a frame to be truly seen. The border is the silent guardian of the garden, the line where the wild meets the tame. In the rustic aesthetic, we do not use sharp, sterile plastic. We build with the weight of stone. But here lies the secret. Beneath the rugged, sun-warmed surface of these borders lies what others call trash. Plastic bottles, packed tight with earth and coated in a skin of textured cement, become the backbone of your garden beds. Low-growing thyme and alyssum spill over these edges, softening the hard lines with a cascade of scent and color. (15) Veranda. The sun in Spain is a passionate lover. It warms the soul, but sometimes one seeks the gentle caress of the shade. The veranda is that pause in the melody of the day, a space caught between the brightness of the sky and the coolness of the home. Imagine a roof not made of cold steel, but woven from the living arms of nature. A rustic arbor, built perhaps from gathered driftwood or fallen branches, becomes the spine for a ceiling of grapevines. As the seasons turn, This living roof thickens, the broad leaves interlocking to filter the fierce noon light into a soft, dancing lace of green and gold upon the floor. Edging. Sometimes, the most beautiful things in a garden are born from a change in perspective. Consider the humble roof tile, curved clay meant to shield us from the rain, sitting high above the world. But what if we bring it down to the earth? In the rustic gardens of the Mediterranean, these tiles find a second life not as a ceiling, but as a boundary. Buried halfway into the soil, they form a scalloped ribbon of terracotta that dances along the edge of your flower beds. This repeating wave pattern creates a soft, rhythmic border that holds the soil in a warm embrace. Portico. The pillars of a home are symbols of its strength, the silent sentinels that hold up the sky above our heads. But in a modern house, these supports are often thin, soulless poles. Imagine giving them the weight and dignity of a Spanish cathedral. You do not need to quarry marble. You only need to wrap the weak in the strong. By encasing simple poles in wire and filling the void with rubble, then cloaking them in a thick coat of textured cement, you create columns that feel eternal. Wrapped in the fragrant embrace of climbing jasmine, these DIY pillars soften the boundary between the architecture and the earth. Carport Side. The carport is often the orphan of the home, a utilitarian grey space where engines cool and tools are forgotten. But in the warm efficiency of a Spanish homestead, no space is wasted, and beauty is never sacrificed for utility. Imagine transforming that cold, blank wall beside your vehicle into a living pantry. By going vertical, we turn a dead zone into a thriving tapestry of flavor. Using simple pallets, recycled gutters, or hanging pockets, you can create a cascade of green. Picture stepping out of your car after a long day, not to the smell of exhaust, but to the fresh, peppery scent of basil, and the piney aroma of rosemary. '19. Wall crevice. We spend so much time trying to make things perfect, smoothing over every crack and flaw. But in the philosophy of the rustic garden, the crack is where the light gets in, and where life begins. Imagine a wall not as a solid barrier, but as a vertical landscape waiting to be colonized. Those crevices, those accidental gaps in the cement or stone, are not mistakes. They are opportunities. Tuck a pinch of soil and a resilient succulent or a patch of velvet moss into these tiny pockets. Watch as the hens and chicks multiply, softening the harsh gray with rosettes of green and purple. '20. Pergola. There is a profound beauty in things that are imperfect, in lines that are not straight but follow the rhythm of nature. The pergola is the cathedral of the garden, a structure that claims the sky without blocking it. But you do not need milled lumber or expensive kits to build this sanctuary. Imagine the scavenger's pergola, born from the gifts of the forest and the shore, driftwood, fallen branches, or the sturdy limbs of an old tree. When you piece these forgotten woods together, their twisted forms create a canopy that feels alive, even before the vines take hold. '21. Sunken Firepit. As we reach the end of our journey, we return to the most primal element of all, the fire. In the cool evenings of the Spanish hills, the garden is not just for viewing, it is for gathering. Imagine a sunken fire pit, a cozy nest carved into the earth itself. By digging down, we create a sanctuary protected from the wind, an intimate circle where the rest of the world disappears above eye level. Lined with reclaimed bricks or smooth river stones, this humble pit becomes the beating heart of the night. Surrounded by tall ornamental grasses that glow like golden wire in the firelight, the atmosphere is pure magic. As the sun sets on our little Spanish village tour, remember that your home is a canvas and nature is your paint. You don't need luxury materials to create a luxury feeling. You just need a little imagination and the courage to create. From a trash-filled yard to a sanctuary of peace, paradise is not a place you go, it is a place you create. Which corner of your home will you transform first? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching Arkan Aesthetic Studio. Stay creative, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next project. Adios.